thought this moment would never come.
And all thanks to you, Salome. You never stop searching for your man.
He's been eluding you. This hypocrite's been running away from his responsibilities. That's why he's in this town.
Salome, this is my daughter?
Yes. She is the fruit of the love you once swore to me, Jorge.
Papa, you're so handsome and kind, I can tell. Why don't you want me?
Oh, why want you, my baby? I want you.
Oh, I knew you couldn't be a meanie. I knew it. You love me after all.
Oh, my God. So innocent, no?
Not only children are innocent.
Us as well, Maria de Los Angeles. We're victims because we were innocent like her.
And would the little girl like a treat? An ice cream?
Yes, an ice cream. And bring one for my papa.
Put some rat poison in with his.
Come on, Maria de Los Angeles. You don't have to be so hard on Jorge de la Rosa. After all, he couldn't have known he left a pregnant woman behind.
Of course he knew. He knew very well, Rodrigo. That's exactly why he did his disappearing act like a coward. And I had no choice but to take care of my daughter all on my own. To be her mother and her father. I didn't have any choice.
Inmenso como el agua del mar, inmenso como un cielo.
Radames.
Do you know the old story about the toad and the scorpion? The scorpion kept asking the toad to carry him across the river. And the toad said no, because he was afraid that halfway across the river, the scorpion was going to sting him, and that they would both drown. But the scorpion kept begging the toad, so much that finally, the toad agreed to carry him perched on his back over to the other side. When they were halfway across the river, the scorpion stung the toad. And as the toad and the scorpion were both drowning, the toad kept on asking, "Why did you sting me, scorpion?" "Because now we are both drowning." And the scorpion replied, "Because that is my basic nature." And that is your nature, too. Being wicked, Orquidea. That's just the way you are. You're not a woman to be in love with. Not really love. Because your nature is terribly wicked. Orquidea, I don't want to see you ever again. Don't come looking for me. Because I never want to hear from you again.
Oh, no, wait, no, no.
Oh, Adan Espinosa. Adan, you're going to destroy me. Where did you get that gun from, Adan? Where? Why did you have to shoot those men who gave you that darn gun, Adan? You want to kill me? He wants to kill me. Of course, that's what he wants. He wants to destroy me. Well, if he wants to kill me, let him do it. Let him shoot me, for God's sake. Just let him do it. Don't make me suffer day after day, night after night. It's such agony and I'm so miserable. My husband wants to kill me.
Francisca, did you find
What is it?
Rappuccino, Burriki, and Linda Cristina? Did you find them?
Did I find them? But are they lost?
My goodness, haven't you heard yet?
But how could I know, Father? I haven't been able to stay in one place for more than 5 minutes. I'm all over the place. But where are my babies? I bet Orquidea has taken them. I'm sure she's stolen my babies. I'm going to get her, and I'm going to smash her face in.
Francesca, come back here. No. You're on the wrong track. This matter has nothing to do with Orquidea.
Then who is it?
Don't run away with ideas. The guilty ones are the three monsters of this town. They took the kids. And anyway, Radames put them in jail where they are right now, behind bars in the town jail. Yes, senor.
Oh, really? Well, they're going to meet me any minute now. And when they do, they're going to regret that they ever touched
Francesca.
those children. I'll murder them.
Francesca.
I'm going to kill them with my
Francesca.
bare hands.
I am an idiot. While I was telling her I love her, while I was kissing her and caressing her, she was thinking of how she could hurt me. She will never get tired of hurting me. Never. Never.
Let me talk to you. At least let me explain.
Go away, Orquidea. Don't try and explain anything. Please go away, please. Leave me alone.
Look, Radames, you may believe whatever you want. But I never said I was, and nor have I ever pretended to be any sort of saint, have I? But what I told you today, what I said about going with you anywhere to the end of the world if it was necessary, was the truth. It was the truth. It was the whole truth, Radames, I swear.
I don't believe you! I don't believe you, Orquidea! I don't believe you! For God's sake, leave me alone! Leave me alone! Leave me! Go away! Go away! Leave me alone! Leave me! Well, there's something we haven't heard yet. We haven't. You have to admit it, Jorge. We haven't heard you admit that you are this girl's father.
Because I can't be sure.
You scoundrel.
Jorge, I can't believe you're so callous. You're making me look like a prostitute, like a liar in front of all these people.
The child shouldn't be listening to all these things. Come with me, honey.
No, let her listen. Let her find out once and for all who her father really is. A heartless cat who doesn't love her.
Oh, Salome, please.
I cannot allow this man to remain in my house a minute longer. This is a respectable house. A house with principle. And if I allowed you to come into my beloved home, it was because I thought there was a drop of honesty left in you. You should own up and acknowledge she is your daughter.
Wonderful speech, Mr. Clean.
Is that the only thing you can say?
Please, Rodrigo, don't taunt him, okay?
Rodrigo's not taunting him, Andrea. Those are the facts. He's telling him the truth.
Maria de los Santos.
Don't you even say her name! Don't say her name again! Take care of your daughter and the mother of your daughter!
But I'm not sure she's mine, for God's sake. Can't you understand?
Get out of my house! I gave you one last opportunity to mend the hurt you've caused your daughter. Now get out! Get out of my house! I said get out! Get out of my house!
For goodness sake, stop it, Rodrigo. Let the girl eat her ice cream in peace.
Yes, I read that if children are under pressure, you can distract them with one little treat that they like.
Oh, for God's sake, Alita.
Don't you see you're acting like an idiot?
Oh, yeah? Come on.
Yeah.
I'll take you.
Try it on me.
Just one moment. What is going on here?
Orquidea, you see that little girl sitting there?
I'm not Bernardo Perales. Of course I can.
Okay, she's the daughter of Jorge de la Rosa. And in front of her mother, he refuses to admit it.
The truth is that you don't learn about such wickedness in a convent, nor in books. I'm learning it all the hard way, hands-on.
So this dear little girl is the granddaughter of Radames Basanta. What a lovely surprise for us all.
Huh? Why? Why is it so lovely?
Because she seems to be a gift from the gods. I'm sure that in spite of all I heard about Senor Jorge de la Rosa, that he'll marry you. Who?
Salome. Salome Playbar.
Senora Salome Playbar. Soon to become Salome de la Rosa, and they'll have a huge celebration. And Radames will be delighted with his first granddaughter.
A moment, Senor Orquidea.
And Rodrigo is the gentleman. And he will keep his word and get married to Maria de Los Angeles. And that could take place tomorrow.
Yes. Let Jorge de la Rosa get married once and for all. And be responsible for his deeds, well, if he's a man. Or Jorge de la Rosa, are you planning to keep wandering the world, betraying and seducing innocent women who believe what you tell them? How many children are you planning to leave littered around the planet? 100? 200?
This one.
Where are they? I've got to get those witches! I'm gonna kill them!
What are you
Where are
doing?
my children? Where are my children?
You can't come in
Don't
here.
My children!
Our
soul has been possessed by the devil! No! My soul! You're the ones who don't have a soul, or if you do, it's black! What have you done, you bleeding hearts? You vermin! Where are my children? You tell me right now where you put them! I'll do whatever it takes! You tell me! Don't you realize that? What have you done with them?
Grab her, come on, do it! Get her!
Get off me! Get off me, will you? Get off! Get off! Get off! I'm going to deal with these women!
Listen, Radames. Am I going to jail? I asked you if you're going to send me to jail for shooting those men sent by Orquidea. Do you want to know something? You can do it. Yes, senor. But putting me in prison won't stop me, you know. Because those marauders came to my house to assault us, to be disrespectful and offensive to my wife, and with a total disregard for my children as well. Listen, Adan Espinosa has always lived a life filled with danger. And you know that the evidence is here. You see, I was trying to catch an alligator with only my bare hands to do it. Well, one of the beasts got me. And now I've got no bottom. You know very well that I've hunted tigers armed only with a spear. And you also know very well that there are a few bodies buried in the cemetery because they said something bad against my honor.
And what else?
But it's very simple. If you are going to put me into prison, you do it immediately. Because if those wastrels show their faces here again, Radames, I won't be shooting only to injure. No, senor. I'm going to shoot to kill. And don't you make any mistake about that, I shall shoot to kill. Because I, Adan Espinosa, has never been afraid of anything in his life. Not of jail, not even of ghosts, and particularly not of any human being.
Look, Senor Adames, the thing is that they demolished the school, and they very nearly demolished the house, right?
Listen, Adan Espinosa. I am not gonna send you to prison. Because I don't want to. And because I happen to be the mayor of this town here.
Yes?
And also because I know that what they did to you and your family was wrong and an insult to you. But I won't put up with all this either. What I want you to do for me, Adan, is tell me who gave you the gun to attack Orquidea Cordoba Escalante's men.
No way, Radames. I'd rather die than betray someone, you know that? I won't tell you that, not a chance, even if you hang me upside down by my feet.
What I do or don't do is my business. It's my responsibility. And even if you do keep insisting on it and accusing me, I want you to know something. Jorge de la Rosa is not a coward. And if I made a mistake, I will correct it. And if this little girl is my daughter, I will be very proud of her. But only if she is my daughter. She will always be able to count on my support.
That's the way, Jorge. 3 cheers for your honor and courage. Yes, you marry Salome and Rodrigo marries Maria de Los Angeles, and that's the end of it.
Senora Orquidea, since the little girl's found her father, who denies she's his, I would like you to explain something that worries me a lot.
Yes, darling, what is it?
I've always considered you to be fair and just, a kind and sensible woman, which is why I can't understand how you so heartlessly throw some children out onto the street. To be homeless where they'll have no roof over their heads. I can't understand your actions because I didn't think that you were like that.
What? And I don't know what you're talking about, Maria de Los Angeles.
Excuse me for interfering. Senor Orquidea. But that machine was on the verge of demolishing the family home of Adan and Francisca Salazar on your orders, which were to evict everybody without any compassion.
Me? I did what? I was on the verge of doing something horrible to those poor children? That is a black lie. And I'm willing to prove it to you all right now. And I am also willing to show you that whatever I'm doing is because I have a good reason. Please follow me.
Don't try and push me against the wall, Adan Espinosa.
Right.
Don't threaten me like that. You don't have a permit to carry a weapon. And let me tell you something else. That vendetta you have with Vitelio Albornoz is sooner or later going to get you into very serious trouble. Take my advice.
Senor Adamas, let me tell you that Mr. Vitelio Albornoz, he's a dirty rat, a low-down weasel, and he's forever hurling insults at Senor Francisca.
Senor Francisca. You're the dirty rat and the low-down weasel rampant fly!
Why's that?
Why? Instead of backing me up like a good friend, you're totally in cahoots with her. With Francisca. You chained me down to the chair. That's what you did. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here now. Of course I would not if you hadn't betrayed me. I'd be looking for my children who are lost somewhere. God knows what's happened to them. I'm sorry. Oh, dear Adamus, changing the subject there. Don't you have something handy that I could use to cut through these chains? I'd appreciate it very much if you did.
No, I have nothing. Nothing for you, Adan. And I agree with Rampant Fly and Francisca. It's absolutely right to keep you locked in place the way you're behaving now.
Yes?
Don't worry about your children. Those women won't hurt them, and my men will find them. They're searching everywhere thoroughly for them. Rampant Fly.
Yes, senor.
I don't want this coffee.
You don't want
Don't you have anything more fiery?
Oh, goodness. It looks like you're sad.
I am melancholy.
Is that so? Well, I have a bottle of excellent rum. It has to be somewhere around here. The brand I use for important saints' days and funerals. It packs one hell of a punch, you know. Yes, sir, it's no slouch, but does wonders for melancholia. Yes, senor. Okay, Rampant Fly. Go and bring us that gasoline. So we can rev up his engine. One cylinder seems to not be firing.
Edgar.
Huh?
Been a long time since I called you Edgar, huh? Do what Adan said. Go and bring us that fire water. But I want you to know that it's not only one cylinder out of action. They're all down.
Oh, my goodness. No wonder he's got such a long face today. Senor, I didn't mean to be disrespectful. Let me go and get it.
I am going to prove it to both of you that I am not mercenary. And that the face I present to you and the world is the only one I have. That I wouldn't hurt those kids belonging to Francisca Salazar and Adan Espinosa. They are innocent, and none of this is their fault, including the terrible life they're living.
Why did you order their home to be destroyed?
Because it's my land, Maria de Los Angeles. I want to build a sanctuary to the Virgin. And I can't allow that filthy hovel to remain on the proposed building site, can I?
Whichever way, Senor Orquidea. You're still leaving them on the streets. Or are you giving them somewhere else to live?
Follow me. This is the children's playroom. It cost me a whole lot of money to buy such expensive toys, but the children deserve it. Now please come this way. This is another room for the children.
Papa, I want you to buy me a dolly just like this one here.
Well...
Just look at her. Look at her. She's exactly like you. She's your child, all right.
Is the little girl promises?
No way, get real. I don't have any kids. Do you remember I told you about the Colombian family who lived at my farm? The girl is the woman's daughter. She ditched her right after her husband died. So I'm like a mother to her, always was. And she'll say Papa to whatever I say call Papa.
The fact is there's no escape for the Indian savage. We have him in our trap.
Yes. And if this doesn't break up the relationship between Maria de Los Angeles and Jorge, then I don't know what will.
Don't worry, Salome. No one is gonna save him this time. Maria de Los Angeles has fallen for the whole darn caboodle.
As you can see, I've considered the welfare of those children. It's not their fault they're under the control of Francisca Salazar and Adán Espinosa. There is another room here. It will be nice for you to see it and see what you think of it. There are more than enough beds to accommodate at least 10 children. I never had any intention of leaving those children without a roof. I am going to offer them my house as their house until we can find families who have the wherewithal and high morals to adopt them.
All this is fine, Senora Orquidea, because it shows your good intentions towards the children. But you're forgetting that rich or poor, those kids have the right to live with their parents.
And they're not going to be poor, because I have made provision for them to have everything they will ever require.
And how do you know that all those children really are theirs? Excuse me. I want you to look over this document very thoroughly. Two things will be cleared up when you do, and the first one is that Orquidea Córdoba Escalante is not a wicked witch, but is a benefactress, and second, that those unfortunate children cannot continue to live with Francisca Salazar and Adán Espinosa because those two people are rats. Francisca, get help, he can't breathe.
No, there's no need. I'm all right now. I'm all right. Thanks for asking.
Father, I know it's my fault. I know it's my fault. But you have to understand that I'm desperate. They took my kids. They stole them. And every time I asked them where they were, all they'd say was that they were in good hands. Well, Father, you understand
Relax,
me,
Francisca.
don't you?
Just
you must
calm
understand.
down.
Well, we've escaped.
What are you doing here?
Well, we escaped.
Take
We
this.
got out of there because our boss, Mr. Radamas, put us in jail for 75 hours, you see. He did that. It worked. For God's sake, read what's on the label. What the devil's in there? What chemicals have they poisoned us with? Hang on, we'll tell you now.
What? What are those women doing out of jail? Why are they here?
Right here, come on, come here.
No, but they...
Nurses, I had to let them out. They were choking there and dead. Quick!
The murderess! The prostitute and the murderer!
Listen, the label just says that this stuff will only kill cold-blooded animals. It won't affect human beings. So you see, we're in no danger at all, are we, huh?
So why don't you put them back in prison then, idiot?
Just one minute, just one
Those
minute.
wicked witches!
Listen, we can't leave the jail until we serve the 75 hours. Our boss, the mayor, told us we had to serve as our punishment. We're in trouble, you see. I'm telling the truth. Don't you understand? I'm telling the truth.
We beg you, Monsignor here, we demand that, well, we ask that you go immediately to this prostitute's house.
Shut up, you maniac, and give me back my children! Give me back my children!
You have to go there, Monsignor, I beg you. You have to go and see for yourself why we can't allow those children who are blessed by the Virgin herself to be in such a hovel, to live in such a filthy hovel, indescribable horror. That prostitute and her pimp bringing up these children this vile way. Adán Espinosa, that pimp, really he is, to be sure, mother of God, I'm telling the truth.
You are unbelievable and a hypocrite! You want to know something? I'm not afraid of anyone. I'm not afraid of you or anyone else.
Easy.
You can come if you like. Come and see my house. I don't
Francisca,
care.
please. Come on.
So, are you any clearer now as to who Francisca Salazar and Adán Espinosa really are?
Senor Orquidea, where did you get these police records from?
Where they should be. From the police station, where else?
Senora Francisca is a mother before anything else.
Not true.
That's a lie, Morillo de Los Angeles. Forgive me for not agreeing. A mother. A mother, that's Orquidea. And you will be a mother the day you give me a child. But Francisca Salazar is a dirty prostitute. Also, she's been in prison many times for working as a prostitute. And that's not all either. She is also a thief.
Look, Rodrigo, did you ever meet your real mother?
No. I'm very sorry to say I didn't. She died when I was born. But I've always been told she was a lovely woman.
Oh, is that what they told you? What if it's not true? What if one day you find out you're the son of a very sinful woman? Would you be as harsh and cruel with her as you are with Francisca Salazar? I doubt
You'll have
it.
to forgive us changing the subject, Jorge, but we're not discussing Rodrigo's mother here. I'm the only mother he's had. We're talking about police records which do not lie. In which, apart from saying terrible things about Foxy, it also states that Adan Espinosa was in prison for more than 3 months on a charge of trafficking between here and Curacao. Plus, he was accused, though they couldn't prove it, but he was accused of stealing cars. Do you remember that, Rodrigo? Are these the type of people you would like to bring up those children?
Please.
Well, all right. All right. But Jesus said, "Let those without sin cast the first stone." And we have no right to judge Francisco and Adan for their sins.
And they are, and I don't care what you say. Very good people.
Morillo de Los Angeles, you're gonna have to forgive me, because what I'm gonna say is very serious. If they're going to build a sanctuary for the Virgin, these people can't stay there.
And perhaps you can forgive me, too, for meddling, but I think that Senora Orquidea, by giving these rooms to those children, is being noble and generous-hearted. And I think it could be wrong, terribly wrong, to give those children back to a couple with such a vile reputation.
Exactly, my dear.
Senora Orquidea, I am not your enemy, nor do I want to be. But you mustn't kick Francisco and Adan off that land. They've lived there for over 20 years.
They have the law on their side. They have the right to stay. And excuse me, Senor Orquidea, but if you're going to go on with this, I shall be there to oppose you. And I am willing to risk everything. That's my decision, and let me tell you something. I am not your enemy, and you know it. Excuse me.
Wait 1 moment. 1 moment. Aren't you taking your daughter with you?
Since you believe Salome and intend to marry Rodrigo Aravello and his millions, I have a better idea, and that is this. You two adopt her. Excuse me.
Well, that's how it's gonna be. I'm not the type of father who'd walk out on his children. Don't you worry, my angel. Your Uncle Rodrigo is gonna love you. He's gonna love you a lot. Yes? Salome, take her away.
Come on.
Well, Morillo de Los Angeles, I hope the scales of madness that blinded you to that irresponsible womanizer have finally fallen from your eyes. He doesn't even have the right to kiss the ground you walk on.
Inmenso, inmenso como el agua del mar.
En mi vida siempre te recuerdo, ocupas ese lugar, eres imagen ya grabada y nunca te podré olvidar. En mi vida siempre te recuerdo, ocupas ese lugar, eres imagen ya grabada y nunca te podré olvidar. Pero el destino nos separó, pero no importa.
That woman is malevolent. Malevolent!
You're telling me? She wanted to demolish my house. Yeah, I'm telling you, Rampant Fly. What? I'm telling you to pour more drinks first, will you?
Here I come, more drinks, huh? Hardly anything left. Oh, no.
She drank it.
Take it easy, Rampant Fly. Or you'll burn our soup eats you.
No, no way. You worry. Because this soup is perfect. Look, perfect. Just the way it should be, huh?
And what have you put in it?
Oh, well then, an old herb for starters, a flank of beef, a flank of old smoked ham, and some chopped pork for good measure.
Vegetables? Huh?
Oh, yes, you know I wouldn't forget. I had lots of veggies, a lot of cassava. See, lots of it. Must have cassava.
It's very important, lots.
Yeah, cassava is very good. Change the music, Rampant Fly.
Yeah, go on, change the music, Fly.
Right away.
Get on with it.
I'm doing it.
Good.
I've been a puppet in her hands. Adan Espinosa, her plaything of the day. Her little game. And the worst part is, Adan, that just when I trusted her, when I gave myself to her completely, she sticks the knife in my back and twists it.
Yes, Senor.
I'm gonna tell you something, Adan Espinosa. You should be thanking God right now, because you have a great woman by your side. Because Francisca really loves you, do you hear me? With that big heart of hers that's just busting with love for you.
My
busting
word, that's
with
true.
Well, that's so true. Thank God she loves me, and amen. But look, you need another little top-up, and you can pour out your misery, your sadness, your pain, your dreadful grief. Come on, what do you say, huh?
Dreadful grief. That's the very word I was looking for. You listen to this next point, Adan. While I was getting everything ready to leave with her, to go to the end of the world, I want you to know that I became the most honorable and decent man that calculating woman has ever known in her life. While I was feeling as tender as an adolescent, and I was willing to share my vulnerability, she was plotting behind the scenes, working on a way to hurt me, to destroy me as a man and as the mayor.
You betcha, huh?
Do you realize, Andrea, we are on the verge of losing our friendship, which has lasted years, and all because of that womanizer, Jorge de la Rosa.
Why do you base your opinion on Maria de Los Angeles? You have proof?
Andrea, I have proof coming out of my ears. First, I saw him chasing around after that girl, that Lilia, the one who works for Damas Basanta.
Yes, I remember.
And as if that weren't enough, he had to go and get his ex-girlfriend back, or his fiancée, or his wife anyway, Salome Playbar. Face it, Andrea. You and I are both victims of the same double-crosser. And it's his fault we're on the verge of ending our friendship forever. Andrea, are we gonna let a deceitful pig like that come between us?
Right now, I'm not prepared to cry in front of you and Rampant Fly. Because I'm too ashamed. Because to cry makes me feel ashamed. Because there is still some shame here left in my heart. Otherwise, I would break down and weep my heart out right here and right now.
No, man, don't hold back. Go ahead and let those tears fall. Come on, Radames. Let it all pour out of you. For goodness sake, you don't have to feel embarrassed to cry. No, don't stop yourself. Listen, if a man can't cry, if he doesn't have feelings, well, he's not a man. He's only an animal, not a Christian man. Listen, Rampant Fly.
Yes?
I want you to go into my sleeping area. You know the tequila under my bed? Excuse me. Look, go and get it, and we can start another round, okay?
Another one? Let's
go
do it.
Listen, Adan Eulogio.
For goodness sake, how come you know my second name, my God?
Oh, Adan, there's not much I didn't know about in my pitiful life. I know about agony. I've experienced much pain, Adan Espinosa. Want to know something? You and I are gonna get rip-roaringly, gut-chuckingly drunk. And I don't want to come back from it.
What was that, Mr. Radames? What did you say? What do you mean you don't want to come back? Are you telling us you're leaving this town?
No, don't be like that, man.
I'm leaving it all. I want to close my eyes and never to open them again. I want to lose consciousness. I don't want to know another thing about this dreadful grief that is eating up my heart. It's suffocating me and I can't keep going. I feel tired, Adan. I feel tired and I can't continue. I want to close my eyes and not open them again. Please don't wake me up. Please don't wake me up. And I forbid you to tell absolutely anybody that you saw Radames Punta Llana crying over the love of a woman. I forbid it! Radames Punta Llana is gonna drink until there is no way back again.
Senor, look at them!
No.
I got it! Even the mayor himself comes here to drink. There is my worst nightmare. No, this is not a decent establishment. This is a moral outrage.
Why are they here, huh? This trio of preaching parrots. Tell me something, weren't you parrots in jail, huh? In jail? Ah, you came here to clear up once and for all the burning question, the whereabouts of the kids of Francisca Salazar. Oh, Monsignor, good day. How are you? That's already been cleared up, Radames. The children are just fine.
They're in sacred hands, not in a prostitute's hands.
What? Listen to me,
Listen,
Monsignor.
Monsignor, you may punish me any way that takes your fancy, but I'm going to kill that woman. I'm going to scratch her eyes out.
Oh, relax.
Calm down, so tell me, where are my children?
What a question. Look, Mr. Adan, don't you worry. Your children are in the convent. But the truth of the matter is we don't know what these three creatures have in mind for them.
We are ladies, and make no mistake about that, we are three unmarried, God-fearing ladies of breeding.
Shut up! Shh, shh, shh. Be quiet, you cockatoos! Be quiet!
Oh, dear. Horrible.
Hey. Monsignor, where are the children of Francisca Salazar and Adan?
And mine?
Please tell me. Yes, they will be arriving here immediately. I do not agree in the least bit with keeping them separated from their mother and their,
Me, their father?
One moment.
Huh?
One moment. Do you know Jeremias Espinosa? That man was my very good friend. He lived in El Tajiro.
Know him? Of course I knew him. He was my... Sorry, father. My grandfather. And have you heard from him then? What?
I don't believe it. It's ridiculous. That means that you have lived a good many years here without really knowing who you are, Adan Espinosa.
Of course I know who I am. I'm a poor, crippled old fool, Monsignor. A man crippled with poverty as much as anything. A man who spent most of his life without enough money to feed his family, have a decent house, always struggling, and
No, I don't mean that. I don't mean that at all. Really, Adan, it's impossible to believe that, in fact, Adan Espinosa doesn't know who he is. I can't understand it at all. You don't know who you are. No, you have no idea of your true identity, do you?
Andrea, I asked you a question. Are we gonna let a deceitful man ruin our friendship? Consent and silence? And your silence is more painful than screams of treason. After all the things I told you, your silence is as if you didn't believe me.
Your angry sentiments say one thing, Maria, but Jorge's behavior and his general manner, well, they say something different.
Thank God for your clear mind, Andrea.
All right. You believe him more than you believe me. Well, if you don't believe me, then I think it's time to call a halt to our long friendship. I'm not going to beg you to believe me. But what I can assure you is that I have always come clean with you.
Stop torturing Andrea, Morillo, Los Angeles. She doesn't deserve your malice or your rage. And when it comes to me, you have no moral superiority to judge me. Because if we're gonna be honest, you're no saint.
Be very careful what you say.
Exactly so. I'm very careful. That's why I won't say everything I know. Because I am a gentleman, and gentlemen have no memory. Now I'm leaving this town which has treated me so badly, which has lied to me and finally betrayed me. But with the same right that Andrea came to give me a goodbye kiss. Yes, with that same right, I came here to give Andrea a goodbye kiss as well.
Tell me something. You are the grandson of Jeremias Espinosa.
Yes, of course that's right, but so what?
Pardon, Monsignor. You're going to have to forgive us, but we ladies didn't come here to talk about the family tree of this slob who lives in sin with a female. He's not married to this woman of very bad repute. We want to know if the children should remain in the custody of our sacred hands.
Sister Teresa,
Yes, what?
I would like you to accompany Francisca to the convent to give her her children.
Monsignor?
Yes, take them. I'll go with you.
I'll go, Mr. Adamus.
Thank you.
Let's go,
Thank you.
Francisca. Let's go. Don't worry, the children will be fine. Good day. See you later.
You.
Come on.
The world is very small and very round, and what goes around comes around.
Come on,
Wait,
Francisca.
I tell you, you'll pay for this, believe me. You'll pay for this, and I'll be waiting for you.
That one, good.
Don't fret.
Good ladies, let's go and pray for all these sinners. They need all the help they can get.
One moment. Wait here. Where are you going? Just please relax. You are now all under arrest. You should be in jail still. You broke the law. Breaking the law means you have to go to prison. You kidnapped those children, you bunch of cockatoos. You kidnapped all those innocent children. You just stole them. A very serious crime, ladies. And you get 3 times your original sentence. You cockatoos.
Cheers for the chief! Hey, Mayor, if you give me the word, I'll take them there myself with pleasure.
Oh, no. Listen, Ramblefly, Socrates is right here, and he can escort them over there, all right? Yes, come with me.
I'm not going with you. I'm not going with you.
Go on.
Go with me. Mother of God.
That's good work. That's the way to do it. Congratulations, Radamus.
Thank you.
Okay, now eat your soup before it gets cold. But listen, Monsignor, getting back to our earlier conversation concerning my family tree, before we were so nearly interrupted by domestic drama, what is this big deal about me and my grandfather? No, what's his name again? Jeremias Espinosa. What's the big deal? What the hell is this mystery that you keep telling me about something to do with who I really am, my birthright, and what is all this about, huh?
Porque yo quiero que te quedes conmigo. Porque yo quiero que tú seas mi vida. Inmenso, inmenso como el agua del mar. Inmenso como un cielo desierto que va sin destino, sin nada que dar y se queda en el alma y sin ver.
Take care of my daughter all on my own. To be her mother and her father. I didn't have any choice.
Inmenso, inmenso como el agua del mar. Inmenso como un cielo.
Radames.
Do you know the old story about the toad and the scorpion? The scorpion kept asking the toad to carry him across the river. And the toad said no. Because he was afraid that halfway across the river, the scorpion was going to sting him, and that they would both drown. But the scorpion kept begging the toad. So much that finally, the toad agreed to carry him perched on his back over to the other side. When they were halfway across the river, the scorpion stung the toad. And as the toad and the scorpion were both drowning, the toad kept on asking,
Papa, at last!
I thought this moment would never come.
and all thanks to you, Salome, you never stop searching for your man.
He's been eluding you. This hypocrite's been running away from his responsibilities. That's why he's in this town.
Salome, this is my daughter?
Yes. She is the fruit of the love you once swore to me, Jorge.
Papa, you're so handsome and kind, I can tell. Why don't you want me?
Oh, why want you, my baby? I want you.
Oh, I knew you couldn't be a meanie. I knew it. You love me after all.
Oh my God. So innocent, no?
Not only children are innocent.
Us as well, Maria de Los Angeles. We're victims because we were innocent like her.
And would the little girl like a treat? An ice cream?
Yes, an ice cream. And bring one for my papa.
Put some rat poison in with his.
Come on, Maria de Los Angeles. You don't have to be so hard on Jorge de la Rosa. After all, he couldn't have known he left a pregnant woman behind.
Of course he knew. He knew very well, Rodrigo. That's exactly why he did his disappearing act like a coward. And I had no choice but to take night after night in such agony, and I'm so miserable. My husband wants to kill me.
Francesca, did you find
What is it?
Rapacito, Burriki, and Linda Christina? Did you find them?
Did I find them? But are they lost?
My goodness, haven't you heard yet?
But how could I know, Father? I haven't been able to stay in one place for more than 5 minutes. I'm all over the place. But where are my babies? I bet Orquidea has taken them. I'm sure she's stolen my babies. I'm gonna get her, and I'm gonna smash her face in.
Francesca, come back here. No. You're on the wrong track. This matter has nothing to do with Orquidea.
Then who is it?
Don't run away with ideas. The guilty ones are the three monsters of this town. They took the kids. And anyway, Radamas put them in jail where they are right now behind bars in the town jail. Yes, senor.
Oh, really? Well, they're gonna meet me any minute now. And when they do, they're gonna regret that they ever touched
Francesca.
those children. I'll murder them.
Francesca.
I'm gonna kill them with
Francesca.
my bare hands.
I am an idiot. While I was telling her I love her, while I was kissing her and caressing her, she was thinking of how she could hurt me. She will never get tired of hurting me. Never. Never.
Let me talk to you. At least let me explain.
Go away, Oaks King. Why did you sting me, Scorpion? Because now we are both drowning. And the Scorpion replied, because that is my basic nature. And that is your nature, too. Being wicked, Orquidea. That's just the way you are. You're not a woman to be in love with. Not really love. Because your nature is terribly wicked. Orquidea, I don't want to see you ever again. Don't come looking for me. Because I never want to hear from you again.
Oh, no, wait, no, no.
Oh, Adan Espinosa. Adan, you're going to destroy me. Where did you get that gun from, Adan? Where? Why did you have to shoot those men who gave you that darn gun, Adan? You want to kill me? He wants to kill me. Of course, that's what he wants. He wants to destroy me. Well, if he wants to kill me, let him do it. Let him shoot me, for God's sake. Just let him do it. Don't make me suffer day after day.
Orquidea, don't try and explain anything. Please go away, please. Leave me alone.
Look, Radames, you may believe whatever you want. But I never said I was, and nor have I ever pretended to be any sort of saint, have I? But what I told you today, what I said about going with you anywhere to the end of the world if it was necessary was the truth. It was the truth. It was the whole truth, Radames, I swear.
I don't believe you! I don't believe you, Orquidea! I don't believe you! For God's sake, leave me alone! Leave me alone! Leave me! Go away! Go away! Leave me alone! Leave me! Well, there's something we haven't heard yet. We haven't. You have to admit it, Jorge. We haven't heard you admit that you are this girl's father.
Because I can't be sure.
You scoundrel.
Jorge, I can't believe you're so callous. You're making me look like a prostitute, like a liar in front of all these people.
The child shouldn't be listening to all these things. Come with me, honey.
No, let her listen. Let her find out once and for all who her father really is. A heartless cad who doesn't love her.
Oh, Salami, please.
I cannot allow this man to remain in my house a minute longer. This is a respectable house. A house with principle. And if I allowed you to come into my beloved